So the iPhone 11 was probably one of the most popular phones of last year. It was hyped up like crazy, and it wasn't like an underwhelming device. Like, it actually brought a lot, I think. And the best thing Apple did was decrease the price of that thing, which was a humongous deal in my opinion, at least coming from the iPhone XR. And it's been out for about 6 months now, which is pretty crazy. And besides my iPhone 11 Pro, that is the main device that I use every day, the iPhone 11 is that secondary device that I use like on an almost everyday basis. Not even on this channel, but like the second channel, I talk about it a lot. So what I'll tell you is that throughout the time owning it, I've had nothing but great experiences with it. It's been a pretty good device overall. And obviously within 6 months, this is not like a bad phone or anything like that. It's not an old phone either. But some things have changed with it, and some for the good. And there's really not too many things that have been bad about this device. With most phones that have came out, we can usually name like a couple things that are wrong with them, like with the iPhone 10 or 8 or 6, pen gate and all that stuff. Sometimes there's one issue or two issues or whatever, but with this one, I really didn't have too many issues with it, which is a really, really cool thing. Now, when this thing came out, it was costing $699. Right now, I've seen a lot of them go for about $600-ish in the used market, especially on eBay. So if you want to get a used one, you can always pick one up there. But they're still selling for, I think, about $699, maybe a little bit cheaper on Amazon. And I'll link them down in the description below so you can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, with the iPhone 11, really there's two main things that have changed since the beginning of this phone's release. And that is the price tag. Like I stated, it's gone down. Maybe software updates, so there's probably like 3 things. But that third thing was that uncovered jailbreak, which just came out like a couple weeks ago. And that was one of my favorite things that have been released about this phone. And what's really, really cool about this is that you have that capability of jailbreaking this phone, where in the beginning we didn't have that capability, which is pretty insane. And what's really cool about that is that all devices from iOS 13 to 13.3 now have some type of jailbreak, and I'm sure 13.3.1 and 13.4 will get a jailbreak too, but that's one of the main things that we've seen since it came out. Now, the hardware is still perfectly fine. Now, with my iPhones, you guys know I drop these things like crazy, and because of that, a lot of my phones get scratched up easily and everything like that, but this phone still looks pretty good. These things can take a beating for sure. I've dropped this on my desk, on the floor, on my windowsill like so many times, and it still works perfectly fine. There's no cracks or dents or anything like that. There is a slight, small little issue with the front screen. It's not an issue, but the screen for some reason scratches so easily, and within like my second day of owning this phone, I actually saw that this phone screen was getting scratched up quite a bit. I put it in my book bag one time and I took it out, and the screen was so scratched up, it was insane. And the resale value on this thing went down a lot, even though I'm not reselling it. It's just kind of like a joke, but for sure at the end of the day, the screen scratches up easily, and if you put a glass screen protector on, if you put a case on, it's perfectly fine. My iPhone 11 Pro screen hasn't scratched more since I did that, so it's perfectly fine still. Now, turning it on, we still have iOS 13.4, which is still really, really nice. I like it a lot. I think it's holding up pretty well in terms of software and performance. Obviously, it's not going down in performance anytime soon, and really anything I did with it, it was perfectly fine. I did a comparison between this and my Galaxy S20, and there were, the S20 was pretty much faster every single which way, but obviously you have to keep in mind the Galaxy S20 costs way more than this phone, and this phone still holds up very well in terms of performance. So if you're worried about the performance being slow or anything like that, don't worry about that. It's perfectly fine. Battery life has been very good too. I usually charge this thing up and let it, die. And I keep using it for videos here and there until it dies out. So I would say I definitely use this almost on a daily, or if not like every other day basis, and quite a bit. If you go on my second channel, you can see all those videos I've done with this. And for sure at the end of the day, I'll tell you, the battery life and standby time on this thing is very, very good. And within the last 6 months, I've charged up this thing and let it die so many times, which you're not supposed to do. That's really, really bad for the battery life. But I've done that so many times because these are tools. I don't use this as a main phone, and my battery health is still at 100%, which is really, really good. And that's a testament to iPhone batteries. These things, Apple puts really, really good battery systems in these things. So for sure at the end of the day, the battery life on this phone is going to be holding up very, very well for a majority of you. However, if you want the best battery life, the 11 Pro Max is probably the best way to go. The camera system has also been very good. I don't use the camera on this phone that much, but I use it on my 11 Pro, and even there, holds up very well. Nothing really too much to complain about there. So for sure, what I'll tell you is the last 6 months of owning this, it's been a very good experience so far. Anything I wanted to do with it, it was perfectly fine. I didn't run into too many problems, which is a really, really good thing. Like I said, some phones have some pretty big issues within the first couple months. And this one, besides maybe like a couple software things that were fixed, there were really no issues at the end of the day. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, or if you want to pick one of these up, Links will be down in the description below. But that's pretty much it. Leave a comment if you guys have any questions or concerns. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed the video, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys to check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.